What is up, gamers? It's your boy the Goods, and we are back for episode number 15 of Narcissu. We're on Narcissu 2nd, and it is time for chapter 11. We're going to find out what the hell they're talking about when they say vintage wine. Last episode we went to the ocean, and I guess we're still there. The sea breeze stopped, and the long summer day began drawing to a close. Around when the waves, the sky, and everything that could be seen was stained orange. Well, it's getting to be a good enough time, I guess. As she spoke, Himeko-san once again went to get the hacksaw. For an already sparsely traveled place, she probably had been waiting for this even more opportune time. In the middle of that, a single car came down the road in front of us. For some reason, it was headed straight for where we were. Looks like a car's come. That's odd, someone stopping in a place like this. What stopped before our eyes was an unknown subcompact car. Beyond the lace curtains, what could be seen in the car were lots of stuffed toys and numerous accessories. That was, without a doubt, the car of someone with girlish interests. Strange car. Indeed, in this day and age, K-cars with frilly interiors just don't exist anymore. In front of that car that stopped before us, we gave our impressions. And then the owner of the strange car slowly opened the door. Hey, you're looking well. You're Yuka. What a coincidence, meeting you in such a place. Yes, an unbelievable coincidence. It seemed to be someone Himeko-san knew. Is it the girl from the beginning? Who is this? A short, cute-looking person who looked good in the frilly clothes she wore. Himeko-san herself said she knew many people at the hospital, but the person before my eyes didn't seem to be that sort of person. By the way, what's with that tacky car? Quiet, you. It's better than your junker. And hey, I thought it looks like this. It's a brand new car. Or even though it looks like this, it's a brand new car. And geez, don't make a paper driver drive long distances. You should think about your age, okay? Your age. What was this feeling? It seemed like an argument, and also didn't seem to amount to a conversation, and yet, somehow it just didn't feel like that at all. Phew, but well, how should I say, Yuka, thanks. What are you saying all of a sudden? This and that, and this and that. It must have been you who maintained the Unos for me, right? I know nothing about that, probably just a coincidence. Well then, I'll also leave it at that for you. The very happily conversing Himeko-san. Out of all the times that I've seen Himeko-san up to now, this expression was a first. And the person she spoke to, by her words she was always angry, but it didn't feel like that at all. Well, I'll be going. The door opened and slammed shut again. With just that little conversation, the woman quickly got back into her own car, as if she might not have known why she had even come. But, in truth, didn't she want to talk more? She probably wanted to spend much more time together. For some reason, I felt that way, and couldn't help but turn to Himeko-san and open my mouth. Say, is it okay to part like this? There wasn't any particular reply. She just continued to gaze at that person. In truth, didn't she want to talk more? I hesitated in even uttering those words. Somehow I sensed that I shouldn't intrude. And then, the car that I thought was going to leave. The briefly closed driver's side window opened one more time. Hey, Himeko. Yes, I know. Just exchanging those words, both of them fell silent. Both Himeko-san and the unknown woman who made a face near tears. In the world where everything that could be seen was stained orange, only the crashing of waves and the cries of seagulls sounded. And then, as the driver's side window closed... see you then. With those last words, she once again returned to the road. Silly, as always. Just because I said not to come to the 7th floor, to come all the way to such a place. That person just now was, indeed, a bit not true to herself, but really a very kind person who let perfect attendance slip by. Perfect attendance? Yes, and my number one best friend. Himeko-san slowly murmured. Her eyes were gentle, but somewhere lonely. Whew, and thanks to that, the remaining 3 has become 2. It wasn't the pineapple tree? Well, that's one too, but it's different from that. Just one more time, I wanted to meet again, with my best friend, you see? And then the orange-colored scenery slowly changed to blue. Already, the seabird and cicada cries had disappeared, and only the sound of the waves hung over the beach. Within that, the 2 of us were still at that place. The rough sound of sawing filled the air. Whew, I guess it really wasn't a pineapple tree. Pity. What a pity. Her words said that, but it certainly didn't sound like it. Instead, Himeko-san sounded as if she was having fun. First, that is not even a 1 centimeter cut. It's fine, any more than you feel sorry for the tree, right? And then, from the start, you didn't have to cut it. No way, nothing should be judged without trying. And then, with lightly skipping steps, she began walking towards the water's edge. Look, since we've come all the way out to the sea, let's play before we go back. She splashed in the water. Hey, what? Cold! Hey, Setsumi, you come too. It's cold and feels good. At the water's edge, barefoot, raising the hem of her pajamas, Himeko-san seemed to be having fun. Could it be that in reality, testing the pineapple tree didn't matter at all? For me, I couldn't imagine the reason, but it might have been that she wanted an excuse, whatever it was, to go outside. And separate from my inner thoughts, Himeko-san was enjoying herself at the water's edge. It was just, even though I didn't understand plenty, there was one thing that I understood. That figure of Himeko-san right now before my very eyes. Without a doubt, a few months later, this person will disappear. That sunny smile, the gentle patting on my back, the warmth in that hand will disappear. Only that was unmistakable. Hey, what are you doing depressing the mood over there? Himeko-san started splashing water. What? If you don't come, I'm really going to splash you. Alright already. Having been prodded, I also took off my shoes and headed to the water's edge barefoot. Well, it feels good, doesn't it? It's cold and feels good. I washed my feet in the waves. The feel of the sand, the cold evening water, both felt good. How many years was it since I've been to the sea like this, I wonder? When will be the next time I can come to the sea like this, I wonder? Now we've finally gotten revved up. And then, from the convenience store bag in her hand, Himeko-san took out something. Just when I wondered what it was. Ta-da! And here, alcohol makes its appearance. Come, you hold a glass too. But me and alcohol. Don't worry. We just discovered the truth behind pineapples after all. And besides, this is an 8-year-old wine. With overflowing gusto, she half forcibly poured me a glass. The clear red wine seemed overlaid with the beautiful color of the moonlight's blue. The two of us waded into the sea to our ankles and took up our glasses. By the way, Setsumi, you're how old now? 15. Well then, to an 8-year-old wine and the 15-year-old. Our glasses clinked together, Jesus. And to my life, too. The moon floating in the cloudy summer sky illuminated the dark beach. The 10 things to do before dying. 3 weeks ago, I was told to go along with the remaining 3. And now the pineapple tree and best friend were cleared, leaving what appeared to be 1 more. For me, I didn't know what that was, but the day for doing that last one might not be that far off. After some time had passed, Himeko-san was still happily walking along the water's edge. Suddenly, her feet stopped and turned this way. Hey Setsumi, just if I go into the sea like this, do you think I can die comfortably? Over there, the expression that had been on her face just before disappeared. Hey, at that time, would you stop me? If you really wanted to die, you would have dove into the sea long ago. Whew, always the cool one, aren't you? As she spoke, she splashed her way back. And Yokoisho! No, there isn't any particular meaning in this. Alright, bro. Why would they put that in there? And then, while drying her wet feet with a towel, she sat down next to me. And now we're revving up again, right? In contrast to her words, she spoke calmly, and turned to face the one who had fallen silent, me. It's okay, you've got them, right? Plenty of things you want to ask? Giving a small nod, I slowly opened my mouth. From long before there had been many things I wanted to ask Himeko-san. When you heard you were going to die, did you cry? Well, a bit. Then, were you bitter, asking why only me? That's a hard question. Well, let me ask you. When you say bitter at whom? I didn't know. That was my reaction to the unexpected question. Indeed, if God exists, then I might be bitter. Even though you're a former Catholic, you don't believe in the existence of God? No, I believe, even as a former Catholic. Probably God exists. But you see, it looks like he's very busy, that God. Or maybe he just doesn't care, perhaps. She continued to speak softly, as if talking to herself. That face, illuminated by the moonlight, felt somehow lonely and philosophical. Hey, Setsumi, do you know a dog of Flanders? A dog of Flanders? Yeah, it's a pretty famous story, so you probably know it. More or less. At the sudden words, I answered with the slightest of nods. When I was young, I think I watched an anime broadcast of it. I believe it was a story about a child who lost his family, Nello, and his dog, Patracci. Nello, Patracci, and a Loa. Who do you want to be? Or who don't you want to be? The ones who ultimately died, Nello and Patrash, and the two's best friend, Alois. I didn't want to die, but even saying that, I didn't want to be the one left behind, Alois. Is it Alois or Alois, like French? I don't know. I don't want to be any of them. Well, that's an impossible arrangement. Why? People have only these 3 choices. As Himiko-san answered, her face was different from usual. The expression that she occasionally showed, that very strict expression, was there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for watching. In the next one, we will hear more about Nello and Alois. Aloha. I'll probably look up how to pronounce that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!